Hey there. We've all done it, right? We've all told ourselves, I'll start investing later. But what does later actually cost? Today, we're going to find out. We're going to put an actual number on that 10-year delay.
So let's ask the big question. What's the real difference between starting to invest at age 35 versus waiting until you're 45? I mean, it's just a decade. How much can it really matter in the grand scheme of things? Well, as you're about to see, it matters a ton.
Okay, so to get to the bottom of this, we're going to set up a little showdown. We'll follow two imaginary investors. Let's call them Person A and Person B. They're going to follow the exact same game plan, but with one single critical difference.
So let's look at the setup. It's super simple. Both Person A and Person B are investing the same amount, 10,000 rupees a month. And for this example, we'll say they get the same 12% return every year. The only thing we are changing is when they start. Person A gets going at 35, and Person B waits until they're 45.
And a quick but important note here. That 12% return, it's just an assumption to help us understand the idea. It's not a guarantee, obviously, but a tool to see how time and money really work together.
All right, the stage is set. So what happens when both of our investors hit age 60? Let's look at the final numbers, because this is where things get really interesting.
First up, let's look at Person A, our early bird. By starting at 35 and just staying consistent for 25 years, their final portfolio grows to a pretty amazing number.
1.7 crore. Just let that sink in for a second. From a total investment of 30 lakhs over those 25 years, their wealth grew to nearly 6 times that amount. That's a phenomenal result.
Okay, now let's check in on Person B. Remember, they did everything right. Same disciplined plan, same $10,000 a month. But they started 10 years later, at age 45. So what did their nest egg look like at 60?
50 lakhs. Now look, that's still growth, no question about it. But compared to Person A, it's not even in the same ballpark, not even close.
And when you see it side by side like this, the difference is just staggering. I mean, that's not a small gap. That's a huge chasm. That giant space between those two bars, that is the real cost of waiting 10 years.
Let's just put a number on it. Person A ended up with more than 3 times the wealth of Person B. And why? Only because of time. A single decade made all the difference.
So you have to be asking, why is the difference so massive? It's not some kind of financial magic. It's just math. And it's all powered by one of the most incredible forces in the universe of finance.
That incredible force is called compounding. You've probably heard of it. It's the simple idea that your money earns returns, and then those returns start earning their own returns. It creates this powerful snowball effect that just gets bigger and bigger the longer you let it run.
Think of it like this. You're pushing a snowball down a big hill. In the early years when it's small, it grows kind of slowly, but as it keeps rolling, it picks up more and more snow and it starts accelerating faster and faster. By waiting 10 years, Person B basically missed out on that incredible explosive growth that happens in the later years.
Now, do any of these sound familiar? I'll start when I get a raise. I need to pay off this other thing first. I just don't have enough to make it worthwhile. They all sound so reasonable, right? But as we've just seen, each one of those reasonable delays comes with a huge, invisible price tag.
And this leads us to probably the single most important lesson from all of this. Starting early with a smaller amount is way more powerful than starting late with a much bigger amount. You just can't make up for lost time. It's the one thing you can't buy more of.
So, what if you're watching this and thinking, oh no, I've already delayed. What's the best thing you can possibly do right now? Well, the answer is actually incredibly simple.
First of all, do not waste a single second on regret. It's completely pointless. Second, and this is the important part, just start. Start now. Not next week, not next month, today. Because starting today is infinitely better than starting tomorrow.
You know, if you take just one thing away from our chat today, let it be this. While the amount of money you invest is definitely important, the single biggest, most powerful ingredient in building wealth over the long run is time.
And really, it all comes down to that classic bit of wisdom. The absolute best time to plant a tree, or to start investing, was 20 years ago. But you know what the next best time is? It's right now, today.
And as we wrap things up, please remember, this whole exercise was for educational purposes, just to show you how the concept works. All mutual fund investments are subject to market risks, so you should always consult with a qualified professional before making any decisions. Thanks for watching.